Uh, Hello everyone. This is lesson number 35. It's in our series. It's called Constant Diligence. I don't know what I'm going to do when I add new lessons in there in a different alphabetical order. Anyway, Constant Diligence. This is obviously easy to understand, but it's like fighting gravity or fighting sleep. This is an opponent that's never defeated. And so this, in some ways, this is the hardest thing of all. Because you're in a fight with something, or you need a double leg or a knockout punch, you get it, you get a home run, you hit it, and you're done. Constant diligence is just what it says. Constantly. It's like fighting gravity. It's like fighting sleep. You cannot, you never have actually whipped this opponent. It's something you always have to overcome. You always have to deal with it. And constant diligence is fighting an opponent that can never be killed, that can never be beaten, because constant diligence is all the little things you must always do to maintain. There's a beautiful poem that I really like. I put it in my book, Poetry for Men, because I think it's important. It says, for want of a shoe, let me start over again. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the message was lost. For want of a message, the battle was lost. And for want of a battle, the kingdom was lost. And the whole kingdom was lost, all for the want of a horseshoe nail. And that's an idea of constant diligence. It's sort of the cliche, the devil's in the details, or that's the little things that kill you. Constant diligence, taking your vitamins, getting enough sleep, eating your oatmeal every morning, eating an oatmeal with apple, doing your road work. There's boxers always have to do road work. Keep that in there. Jump the rope. Don't swing the kettlebells. Practice whatever it happens. Practice your jab. Practice your double leg. Practice your sprawl. The constant diligence is doing all those little things that got you where you needed to be. And this is a important thing for some people to remember, because very few champions get better after they become champion. Now, how's that possible? They've got more money to train. They have everything, but very few people get better after they become the champion, because they're not as hungry, but they also don't have that constant diligence, that doing every little thing you need. I love the story of I think it was Dan Gable, who after he won the championship, the next morning he got up and ran in the streets because he was training again. There's a cute story about a man-eating lion in Africa, and he'd killed many people, and they brought in the greatest hunter, and he was stalking the lion, and he came up, and the lion jumped up at him, and he was so close, he didn't quite get his gun up in time, but he got his gun close enough that he fired, and he just nicked the lion barely, and he spun, and the lion was gone. And so the lion's jump wasn't quite where it should be, and the hunter just missed him. And so this hunter said, I'm not going to let this happen. So he went out the next day, and he shot this target, and he shot the next thing, and he threw out a ball, a plastic wiffle ball, and he shot, and just followed it along. And he looked out over the horizon. He was looking at everything through the sights of his rifle, making sure it was perfect. And he looked over, and there's out far in the distance, there was a lion. And he looked, and the lion was practicing his jumps. So that lets you know, sort of the idea of constant diligence. You can't, what's your goal? Achieving your goal is nice, and if that's it, but you have to do the everyday, little, simple, mundane tasks over and over again, and that's what constant diligence is. So, and every great champion does that, and there's a lot of great champions that probably didn't. They didn't stay great champions. Everybody who stayed a champion, Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, whoever they are, Corellin, they kept doing the basic things and trained over and over again. And very few people, they get bored with that. It's hard. It's hard work. So that's the idea of constant diligence. Pay attention to the little details and keep doing them. They're not above you. All right. Thanks a lot. Hope somebody got some good out of this. Thanks.